Let's begin, though, with CBS 2's Marie Saavedra, live in Little Village. Marie.
Brad and Erica, rollouts like this are inherently difficult. In areas where there might be historic mistrust of either the government or healthcare, it is even harder. But that is why the information on getting people vaccinated here is not coming from the top down, but rather neighbor to neighbor. The pandemic, in so many ways, made our world stop, but you wouldn't know it in Little Village.
A lot of the community residents in this neighborhood are frontline workers. They don't have the luxury to work from home. So that means, being exposed.
Maritza Guzman is with Latinos Progresando, a community group that has a front row seat to the need to get their own blocks protected. City data shows 1 in 8 people in zip code 60623 have had COVID. Those numbers earned it a spot in the Protect Chicago Plus program.
Our biggest concern is this connection to care.
Dr. Sybil Madison works with the Department of Public Health, directing shots to zip codes where the hurdles to get them are highest. So how do you educate people and change minds? You meet them where they are.
We just find that having more and more people who are neighbors, who are relatives, who are friends, sharing their own personal experiences help build that confidence.
That's where groups like Guzman's come back in. The city is partnering with them to connect at ground level.
So Latinos Progresando has been working, to make sure that they get accurate information in their language and that we spread the word.
Through Facebook posts, Twitter, and bilingual flyers, the information campaign has gone grassroots, and it's getting results. At the end of this week, 11,791 people in this zip code have had their first dose. That makes 14.5% of Guzman's neighbors, just 85.5 more to go.
I think the Chicago Protection Plus program has been a beacon of hope, and now we can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
More proof that that ground level effort is working? A lack of appointments. Guzman tells me that the appointments for that specific to them community clinic are all booked right now. They are waiting for more vaccine to come in the coming days, Erica, so they can sign up more people.
Marie, thank you. After some early resistance, there are signs vaccinations are picking up in Chicago's Black community.
CBS 2's Jim Williams checked in with one Southside hospital.
Nikia Glenn is surrounded by women and men of science, yet even she was reluctant.
I think I was the same as other people with the not knowing, wondering, just a lot of questions about the science behind the vaccination.
Glenn, the human resources director at the new Roseland Hospital, was one of the overwhelming majority of workers there who chose not to get the vaccine when it was first made available. But since then, the number of workers vaccinated at the hospital has jumped from 23% to 42%. Glenn is among them.
What's changed is education. I really went after, just educating myself about the benefits of getting vaccinated.
Glenn said a turning point was seeing the Reverend Jesse Jackson get his vaccination there. Hospital CEO Tim Egan, who is overseeing a campaign to convince the employees the vaccine is safe, told us they're starting to see safety in numbers.
People are really starting to buy into the fact that, the millions upon millions of people that are getting their vaccines every day across the country are on the right side of the science.
Still, more than half of the New Roseland Hospital's largely black workforce has not been vaccinated, which reflects skepticism in the African American community.
You do have a large percentage of people who are just very nervous about taking this vaccine.
WVON Radio's Kimberly Ugowan says her listeners note the infamous Tuskegee experiment, which studied the effects of syphilis on black men who thought they were being treated for the disease, along with persistent inequities in health care.
These are things that African Americans are looking at and saying, we want to trust the healthcare system, but this has not been a healthcare system that has been trustworthy in many instances, both in the past and the present.
Nikia Glenn hopes people follow her example.
And I'm really happy that I did go ahead and get over my fear and understand and educate myself and move forward to get the vaccination. So I feel great about it.
Throughout the New Roseland Hospital, there are photos of employees who have been vaccinated with the words, "I got it," to encourage others there to do the same. Jim Williams, CBS 2 News.